Hello guys and welcome back to our channel. Now I welcome you to a disturbing conversation that's really sparking outrage and concern within the Black community. A R to the cis comment from a palm color woman, Tiffany Smith, which has gone viral, leaving many to wonder if she's ignorant of history or simply provoking a reaction. Now her comment reads, "I still have my whips and robes, just looking for the next good tree. Friday nights are epic." Now this reference to whips and robes is a clear allusion to the KK clan, a palm-color supremacist terrorist organization notorious for its violent intimidation and unaliving of Black Americans. Now, the mention of the next good tree is particularly chilling, as it evokes the horrific legacy of unaliving, where Black people were brutally unalived and displayed in public spaces, often from trees. Now, Tiffany Smith's comment is not only R to the cis, but also threatening, implying that she's seeking to revive a violent and hateful era. The Black community is responding, and some are warning her that times have changed and that they are ready to stand up against any form of racism or violence. So if she's ready, then they are ready too. And she must also know that they are not their ancestors. So with that said, let's take a look at these videos as different people react to this comment. I will be right back.
Hey y'all, this the old lady, and I seen a post out there by somebody named Tiffany Smith that says she still got her ropes and her chains, and she just ready. Well, Tiffany, I need you to understand, I'm ready too. I'm waiting. Now I'm hoping that you don't go off down that yellow brick road, because the odds ain't gonna be who waiting for you. And if you think that you gonna get to relive some from way back, you sadly mistaken now, little girl. Now, I know you go on down there to Mount Vernon and Jamestown and Williamsburg and all them places and try to relive your glory days, but I'm sorry to tell you, that's as close as you gonna get. But now, if you just have to find out the hard way, you feel froggish, you go head on and leap. But I need you to keep in mind, a frog with a glass only leaps once. So you bring that over here. And this red, white, and blue country of yours gonna be a hell of a lot more red than white and blue. Old lady out.
Let me say this in the most TikTok-friendly way, TikTok shop-friendly way I possibly can. Do not let your president get you packed up to a Hank Williams Sr. concert today. Do not let your whatever the hell it is that you think you are doing get you sent away to ride with Kenny Loggins' Jesus. See, what I think a lot of you people like to think that is completely, utterly without merit anymore is that you can say and do, and we are our ancestors. We are not. We ain't. We are not. We are not our ancestors. We are not the civil rights movement. We're not the peaceful resistance. And we are not the living embodiment of that one line from that Martin Luther King speech that you can remember. If the content of your character is like this, my suggestion is stay home. Stay home. Because what you're going to find out, what is going to become quite apparent to you, is this. You see, you think you make these statements in a vacuum. You make them in the comments section. Then people go to your account and they find you. And you think that cancel culture will come get you. Nope. What will come get you is called accountability. Just with this comment, I could send it to a friend of mine. They can find your IP address. Then they can find your name. They can find where you work, all of that. And it would be a shame if this comment with your picture behind it showed up in the email of your job. Now, your principal want to holler at you. Now, your coworkers, your other teachers, people that work in the school that you work in, they all looking at you sideways, especially the black ones. Oh, word, that's how you feel? Okay. Okay. It'd be funny if the superintendent got involved. Oh, this is what she's saying? Okay, cool. Next thing you know, you are unemployed. You are unemployed. And then they tell you, they make sure people, every other school knows why you are no longer an educator. But see, that scenario, that's the good one. The bad one is this. This comment ends up going back to your parents. Now, maybe they're the one that taught you this. Maybe they're not. Who knows? They won't know. Now you gotta have them uncomfortable conversations with mom and dad, don't you? No, mom, that was a joke. I said it in the comment section, but you know that ain't how we raised you. That's disgusting. How dare you? That is trifling. I cannot believe you have those opinions. Or they might celebrate you. But that's not gonna help them job prospects, is it? No, it is not. Every school you go to, when you put your resume down and they find out who you are, oh, we remember her. The person that wanted to get out whips and robes and looking for trees. Yep. But again, the job prospects part is the good part. Your parents knowing, that's the bad part. Here's the part that's worse. Do you really honestly think black influencers, black social commentators, black social media people don't know of each other? Do you? Do you think we make these videos on TikTok and other places in a vacuum? Oh no, we see everything. We see everything. We see everything that is going on in each other's comment sections because we follow one another. A loose coalition, if you will. So it's cute now until Conscious Lee gets involved. It's cute now until U.S. Army Overlord gets involved. It's cute now until Portia and the white woman whisperer get involved. Harriet Sent Me gets involved. Goddess Mia gets involved. T. Nathan gets involved. All the big content creators of color, all of a sudden we get involved. And each of us makes a video or two about it. All of a sudden there's calls to your school. You gonna fire her? You see what she said? But the worst part about all of it is this. Your face is out there. So when you out trying to buy a pack of Marlboro Red 100s, with whatever little money you can scrape up because unemployment ran out because, you got fired for being, and all of a sudden, somebody who follows one of these black content creators, remember your face with that comment. Hey, ain't that old girl that said about whips and robes and trees? It's her. Yeah, that's her. Hold on, let me go get my shorty. Now somebody's girlfriend coming in asking you, you still looking for that tree? And the moment they recognize you from saying this, I wish you good fortune in the dental bills to come. Y'all want free speech. Say whatever you want. TikTok's going to protect you. They're probably going to ban this video for harassment and bullying, but that's okay, because I have other avenues. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, Substack. So the video will get pushed, and you think that you are covered when TikTok bans all of us for talking bad about you. Like we don't have other ways to get this out. But what you want is consequence free. And what we're telling you is, no, that will not be happening. So I want you to bask in the glory of being able to say this. I do. I want you to get all hopped up on that MAGA juice. You will have this video removed. That's why I save my videos. All of them. I got some on the phone, and I got some on the hard drive. This one will go to the hard drive. And I will post this wherever I want with your picture on it. Just to let everybody know what kind of a person you are. And do not be surprised if the consequences of your free speech end up having you unemployed, shamed by your family, never able to be employed, and looking for a really, 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 really good dentist. Like I said, I wish you good fortune in the comments to come.
Just so you know, a lot of us don't need robes or whips. Maybe because we creeps and steel-toe boots. And Friday night will definitely be epic for one of us.
Child, I bet you and your husband / cousin love your epic Friday nights. Y'all got a farm, huh? I know y'all love them farm animals.
Hey, I got a proposition for you. How would you like to make some money? And all you got to do is just go live. That's it. Just do a live where you walk up to a group of black people and say that on camera, live. And no, you cannot have an army of people with you. You have to do it by yourself, just like you're doing right now. Okay? Come on. And trust me, I'll make it worth your while. Say, what, a 10-minute deal? I'll pay you like $500. That's a steal.
Now, what Tiffany Smith said is not just a casual remark. It's an incredibly disturbing attempt to romanticize one of the darkest chapters in history. Her comment about whips and robes and looking for the next good tree is a blatant glorification of the violence and hatred that plagued America during the era of slavery and unaliving. It's a horrific reminder of the pain and suffering that black people endured, and it's absolutely inexcusable for anyone to make light of that tragedy. But what's even more telling is the response from the black community. As one brother has rightly pointed out, gone are the days when we just took that abuse. We are not our ancestors, and I feel this is a critical point. The times have changed. No longer will black people quietly tolerate such hatred. No, black people let it go unchecked. There is a strength and resilience in the black community today that Tiffany and others like her clearly fail to understand. This is not the era where people are passive in the face of racism. We are standing up, speaking out, and demanding respect. So to anyone who thinks they can make these kinds of comments without consequence, I feel you need to understand this. The era of silence is over, and black people will not let history be reduced to a joke or casual threat. We are stronger than that, and we are ready to defend ourselves, our dignity, and our future. The message is very clear. You cannot perpetuate hate and expect to walk away unscathed. The times have changed, and so have we. Now, for those who don't understand what she's talking about or what this means, let me explain this a little bit, or what she means by this. Well, the end of American race relations was the period in African American history and the history of the United States from the end of Reconstruction in 1877 through the early 20th century, when racism in the country, and particularly anti-black racism, was more open and pronounced than it had ever been during any other period in the nation's history. Now, during this period, African Americans lost access to many of the civil rights which they had gained during Reconstruction. Anti-black violence, unalivings, segregation, legalized racial discrimination, and expressions of palm color supremacy all increased. Asian Americans and Hispanic Americans were also not spared from such sentiments. Now, the period from 1890 to 1920 is often called the end of African American history. Yet African Americans kept hope alive and fought new political weapons during this time. Now, it may be helpful to think of Southerners in 1890 as the baby boomers of the 19th century. 2 decades after the Civil War, the Southerners who came into power in that decade had been young during Reconstruction and educated after emancipation. Members of this generation had not fought in the Civil War, nor had they been enslaved. When they came of political age, the Pamkala people were determined to find new solutions to the end problem, or the black people problem, and their black cohort was just as determined to win its fair share of opportunities and resources. Now in 1893, William Frank Fovier, an African-American student at Livingston College in Salisbury, North Carolina, left on a summer road trip through the South. He was editor of his college newspaper and promised to report back to his classmates on racial progress and oppression. Now his trip came at a crucial moment. He believed that black Americans were on the rise, becoming well-educated, exercising the vote, and becoming economically self-sufficient. He wasn't mistaken in those beliefs, but a tide of Pamkala supremacy was rising to meet and wash over those accomplishments. Now, in the Deep South, Mississippi had ratified a new constitution in 1890. It meant to disenfranchise black voters by a literacy test that required a voter to be able to read any section of the Constitution or be able to understand the same when read to him or give a reasonable interpretation thereof. It was actually a comprehension test, or as some called it, an understanding clause. Pamkala registrars would administer the law, and they would decide whether the constitutional interpretations that black voters gave qualified as reasonable. The new rules also required payment of a poll tax to be eligible to vote. A court case, Williams versus Mississippi, was already pending to test the law's constitutionality, and most African Americans believed that the federal courts would never let it to stand. Now, these unalivings were violent public acts that Pamkala people used to terrorize and control black people in the 19th and 20th centuries, particularly in the South. Unalivings typically evoke images of black men and women being found on trees, but they involved other extreme brutality such as T-to-the-chair mutilation, decapitation, and discretion, and some victims were even burnt alive. Now, a typical unaliving involved a criminal accusation, an arrest, and the assembly of a mob, followed by seizure, physical torment, and unaliving of the victim. Unalivings were often public spectacles attended by the Pamkala community in celebration of Pamkala supremacy, and photos of these unalivings were often sold as souvenir postcards. Now, from 1882 to 1968, 4,743 unalivings occurred in the U.S., and according to records maintained by NAACP, other accounts including the Equal Justice Initiative's extensive report on unalivings count slightly different numbers, but it's impossible to know for certain how many unalivings occurred because there was no formal tracking, and many historians believe the true number is underreported. The highest number of unalivings during that time period occurred in Mississippi, with 581 recorded. Now, Georgia was second with 531, and Texas was third with 493. Unalivings did not occur in every state. There are no recorded unalivings in Arizona, Idaho, and others, but black people were the primary victims of unalivings. 3,446, or about 72% of the people unalived, were black, but they weren't the only victims of these unalivings. Some Pamkala people were unalived for helping black people or for being anti this system, and immigrants from Mexico, China, Australia, and other countries were also unalived. And for someone to come on here on social media and romanticize about this period, this dark period, as if it was something nice, is sick. The audacity of some individuals never ceases to amaze me. Like, for someone to casually boast about the unaliving era, a period marked by unimaginable terror, violence, and brutality against black Americans, is simply sickening. To romanticize or brag about this time period, as Tiffany Smith did, is a slap in the face to the descendants of those who suffered and got unalived during this era. It's a gross display of ignorance, insensitivity, and articism. Friday nights in particular were often a time of heightened terror for black communities, as Pamkala supremacist groups like the KK clan would frequently carry out their violent attacks under the cover of darkness. The fact that Tiffany Smith referred to these nights as epic is a chilling reminder of the depths of articism and hatred that still exists today. We must call out and condemn this type of behavior because no, this is not right. We have finally come to the end of the video, but what do you our viewers have to say? Share your thoughts, your views, your contributions as well in the comment section down below. Thank you for always watching, and see you in our next video as we bring you another video.